Today we are going to dive into a word we all think we know, peace. But we're looking at it through a really specific lens.
Yeah, we're working from the Rhapsody of Realities devotional by Pastor Chris, specifically the entry for February 7th, Ambassadors of Peace.
And I have to say, if your idea of peace is, just quiet time or the absence of a fight, this text is going to completely flip that on its head.
It really does. It frames peace as, well, almost as an aggressive force. It's not this passive state you find yourself in. It's a tool.
A tool, I like that. The text really presents this theological mechanism where peace is an active, transferable thing.
A commodity, even. And that's the big shift, right? Usually peace is internal. It's a feeling.
Exactly. But here, the whole premise is that peace is a substance you carry with you. And it zeroes in on a verse, Luke 10.5, but with a very specific instruction.
Right. It's not just about walking into a house and wishing people well in your head.
No, you have to actually say it.
Yes. The instruction is explicit. Say, peace be to this house. The devotional argues that the vocalization, the act of speaking, is what triggers the transfer.
So the words are the delivery vehicle.
That's the idea. They're the vehicle for what the text calls divine substance. So you're not just offering a nice greeting, you're releasing a spiritual frequency into the room.
Which means if you don't say it, the transaction just doesn't happen. It's like having the money, but no way to spend it.
Right.
Okay, but this is where let's call it the physics of it, gets really fascinating for me. What happens when you try to send this piece to someone who's awful, who doesn't want it?
And that's the return policy. It's right there in the next verse, Luke 10.6. The text explains that peace needs somewhere to land. A son of peace is the term it uses.
A receptacle.
A receptacle, exactly. And if that's not there, the peace doesn't just disappear. It doesn't get wasted.
It bounces back.
It bounces back. It shall turn to you again.
So it's a closed loop.
It's a completely closed loop. And think about what that does to the risk of being kind. Right. The text is implying that when you speak peace, it's a zero-loss transaction.
Okay, unpack that.
Well, you either change the atmosphere for the better, or you get that peace sent right back to you, maybe even stronger. The divine substance is never lost. It stays, as the text says, full and intact.
So you're essentially bulletproof against rejection. And the text doesn't just keep this at a household level, does it? It scales this whole mechanic way up.
Oh, way up. It goes from micro to macro. The logic is, if you have authority to change the atmosphere of a room, why not a city? Why not a nation?
And it lists specific examples.
It does. It mentions speaking peace over Bulgaria, Nigeria, Ghana, Hungary, Poland, Russia, the UK, the US. The idea isn't just wishful thinking for political stability. It's about decreeing power over crisis.
That phrase stood out to me, power over crisis. It connects it to the story in Mark where Jesus calms the storm. He didn't just sit there and meditate.
No, he spoke to the storm. Peace, be still.
And that's the whole point, isn't it? In this view, peace isn't the absence of the storm, it's the authority to stop the storm.
That's the critical distinction, and it gets linked directly to prosperity. The text talks about a divine harmony between peace and prosperity. You can't really have one without the other.
So for you, the listener, you're not supposed to be a thermometer, just, reflecting the temperature of the world around you. You're the thermostat.
You're the thermostat. You set the tone. The text calls you an oasis of peace because you carry the supply the world needs.
It's a really powerful way of reframing your own agency. Okay, so before we wrap up, here's something to think about. If this return policy is real, if your peace always comes back to you when it's rejected, then the worst case scenario for offering peace to someone hostile is that you just become more peaceful yourself. So if that's how it works, why are we still so afraid of rejection?
We trust you were blessed by this episode. To gain unlimited access to Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris, please download the Rhapsody app using the link myapp.rhapsodyofrealities.org. God bless you.